Wow. Okay, recording in progress. It's official. January 18th, 2022. So normally I send out, I'm not super good. I'm pretty good. Send out something called the Monroe Gazette, which is a newsletter, which has a lot of different things in it. Sometimes there are book recommendations, or we highlight participants, highlight different bluegrass boys, the instructors, practice techniques, different things to think about when you're breathing, you know, how many bones are in your hand. So in care of a musician is one of the two. In care of the musician is one little section, and I'm an educator and a musician, and basically, because I put it together, I throw in whatever I want. So if you have any ideas that you'd like to see, just send me an email. I'm always up to learn. And then we do the third Wednesday of the month is a Zoom meeting, and often there is a special guest. We've had Tim Stafford's done songwriting, and last March we had Women in Music with Vicki Vaughn and Jen Larson, Kimber Ludeker of Della Mae, and Lauren Price. So we bring in a lot of different people. Just why not? In November it was in December, John Fabke did a great talk about Jimmy Martin, and Alan Mundy, who has been with us and was just inducted into the American Banjo Hall of Fame, I believe, a couple days ago. He showed up, and while I had to leave to go get dinner with my family in Santa Barbara, there was just a really fascinating discussion. So there's a lot of good stuff, and it's just a way for us to connect and hang out. And often we have a tune of the month, and there is a new program that supposedly allows for playing music together without too much lag. So I'm still investigating that. I didn't get it together for this tune of the month. I had knee surgery end of December, and then I just finished up a massive grant yesterday or whatever. So I apologize for that, but that just allows us to have happy hour and to chat and say hi. I just saw Andy Bings in town at Carter Vintage with Steve Gilchrist is in town with his latest batch of 20 instruments that he brings over and sets up. And there was a great discussion with Steve Gilchrist and Paul Duff about the art of Luthierism, luthiers, I don't know what to call it, but this basically is a gathering to say hi, to if you have questions, if you have things you want to talk about, and we bring in a guest, and you know, it's just another way for us to stay connected throughout the year, because September just can't get around soon enough, right? So I know that there are a couple of people who have to leave for lessons and priorities of basketball games and jams. I mean, whatever. But I don't know if you'd like to just to unmute yourself and say hi and tell us a little about yourself. I know Skip has vouched for Tony, you know, and Skip was just such a problem child this last camp, just the happiest man around, bouncing. It was great. Had a good time, but so I don't know, this is just kind of a meet and greet and hang and see what y'all are working on, and if you have any questions. So Tony, would you like to go first?
Well, sure.
You can say no.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking. Thank you, Heidi. Well, as you probably know, Skip really sings the praises of this program, and I have had the pleasure of getting to know him um, while I've started on the mandolin. I haven't been playing very long. I'm mostly a banjo player, but on February 24th of last year, which is the anniversary of my mom's death, I was trying to do something different, and we had this mandolin that I had bought for my wife many years ago, and had never actually been played. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna try and learn how to play the mandolin, and I just completely got hooked on it. And I've been taking Peghead Nation classes, and just sort of doing it that way and having a ball. And I'm so excited about coming to the camp. I don't know what else I can tell you, but I'm just so looking forward to this.
Awesome. And you guys have some pretty good jams going on in your
Yeah.
north of Denver, north?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just north of Boulder and
Boulder.
Lyons, Colorado, and it's a legendary jam. They've had it for many years, and it's been covered, I think, by NPR and various things. And it's a wonderful resource for us who live here.
Awesome.
Yeah, the one.
Anybody who's
The one-
visiting, by the way.
Go ahead.
It's Tuesday nights.
Yes, Tuesday nights. It's in Lyons, Colorado.
Yep.
It's put on by Casey Groves and Eric Thorin. So some people may know those names. Eric was just out recording with Peter Rowan recently, and then Casey Groves was with Uncle Earl, but she's done a whole lot of other projects with a whole lot of other people. And Tony, I was just even seeing something from Planet Bluegrass, just came across, as we started this, because all the tickets for Rocky Grass go on sale here right away. So that's in the home of where Rocky Grass is.
Yep.
In the Telluride Bluegrass Festival. That's the people who run that are all out of Lyons. And then there's also a folks festival there now too, and quite a few other festivals. And when COVID was still going, they started this like the big, huge kind of assembly for us out here. Pods of 4 people could be there, but we saw Sierra Hull and Chris Steele and all those guys come through. So it's really near where Tony and I both live in. And but yeah, like Tony said, this jam is the longest running consecutive jam in Colorado. And we both know, we could go to 20 of them every week. I mean, and that's just in the Boulder, Longmont, Louisville, Lafayette neighborhood, much less what's in Denver, what's up on Fort Collins and Greeley. So there's a lot of musicians around where we are. So it's a really good jam, and you never know who's going to show up. I mean, right, Tony, this summer, a couple times, we're like, so who's that other banjo player sitting over there? Oh yeah, his name's Bela. Yeah, well, that's Bela Fleck, and that's his kid. Yeah, there you go. So that's kind of fun. So we're hanging with Bela and a bunch of other stars. Of course, when Bela showed up, everybody else showed up too. So that was all like pre-Rocky Grass. So it's just kind of a fun, casual jam.
Awesome. One of the things I'm going to ask of all the participants is to send me a list, because what I'd like to do is to have a resource on the web, probably on the web, for people to be able to see, okay, we have participants in this area regionally. These are some jams that you can go and attend. So everybody here, and I'll send that out in a mass email, because I send out a lot of emails for things. So if y'all would do that, Monroe Mandolin Camp at gmail.com, just in case. Yeah, that'd be great. So thanks, Tony. Welcome. And Skip, welcome back. And anybody else like to say anything? Introduce themselves, say hi. Patsy, you have 14 minutes to go before you have to leave. Do you want to say anything?
There you go. Well, this month has been kind of exciting for me. The local Bluegrass Association, Seven Mountains Bluegrass, they put on concerts. They bring in, Danny Paisley and people like that. I had the next one, Sideline, I believe. They've asked me to be a part of the board of directors, and I'm treasurer in waiting.
Nice.
So I have actually been elected, but we have a dear treasurer. She's in her 80s, and so I'm just learning the ropes from her. She's precious. She kicked my butt 20 years ago and said, "Honey, you got to learn how to play that thing." So, it's very exciting to be a part of a board of directors who've been around our central Pennsylvania area and playing bluegrass for a long time.
Yeah.
I can't wait for camp.
And you're in Palmyra, Pennsylvania, and Paul Duff is in Palmyra, Western Australia. So sister cities. Yeah. And
Yeah,
Patsy's a multi-instrumentalist and talented, and there's a great deck, a wooden deck that you've shared photos of you jamming under. It just looks perfect.
that's
Yeah.
the environmental center. I've run jams there for 5 years. Very fortunate. And there's a lot of room. I'd love to get more people in, and different levels of playing. So
Cool.
come on over and visit us.
Well, send me the information. I'll include it.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. And Jimmy, even though you have to leave for a basketball game or whatever, basketball, football, basketball?
It's basketball. I live in Kentucky, so
All right.
that may explain a lot to people. We
All right.
don't have any professional teams in Kentucky, but we love our college basketball.
Wait, you don't have any professional sports teams?
Well, nothing that's top league. For the most part, everything's, the feeder programs.
You got the horse racing, which is the big deal
That's
you
true.
do. So yeah.
Yeah, basketball, horses, and bourbon. That's all you need, though.
If you wouldn't spend so much money on liquor, you could afford a professional team.
That's probably true. I spoke at something a couple of years ago, and I'm in education, and the person from California said we have 6.5 million public school K-12 students in California. And I was sitting next to her, and I said, we've only got 4.5 million people in Kentucky. I said, however, we do have 6.5 million barrels of bourbon in Kentucky. And people kind of laughed. And I said, that's actually true. We supply 95% of the world's bourbon from here. So,
Wow.
Well, I may talk to you about getting a bourbon source sponsor for camp. Yeah, that's right.
we can do that. I have a couple of connections, maybe.
All right, cool.
Well, he also supplied the father of bluegrass and the name bluegrass, so that's something.
Cool. Who else would like to say something? Anybody? Bill? You're on silent. You're on mute. Bill, you're still muted. You have to unmute yourself. Where did he go? There you go.
There we go.
Hey.
I belong to a fraternal order in the Northeast known as the Friends of Andy Bing. About 10 years ago, I was talking, we worked in the same office together before we both retired. And I was talking to him saying I'd never made any progress on my music. And he said, you need to learn bluegrass. So he invited me to a jam session nearby in Hancock, Massachusetts. And he sort of brought me along. First, I played guitar, and later I learned mandolin. So Andy gets all the blame or credit for my involvement in this sphere.
Friends of Andy, is that a recovery program of some kind? How many is it?
I'll let you decide. Andy Bing is also on the link here.
I see, it's like Newberry says that he was part of he danced a lot whenever he was a young man. It was part of a 12-step program.
Well, I'm not sure what it's recovering from, but I'm happy to spread the word.
It was a nice morning coffee and chat with Andy. I don't get a lot of time during camp to sit down and just have one-on-ones with people but so that was nice, and hearing about so many different pretty fascinating stories and things that Andy's done and lived, and so that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Well, cool on my end too, Heidi. It was great to be able to visit with you and to hear about your story and about your growing up practically in the same neck of the woods as I did up in Schuylerville. That's cool.
Yeah. Cool. Is everybody kind of just hanging, sleepy?
I wanted to explain all of these extracurricular movements here. My shoulder muscles are seizing up, and I'm pulling this band here, so y'all don't be alarmed. I'm going to continue here to sit here and be distracting if you don't mind. I've got to get limbered up a little bit.
There we go.
I have a question. Mike, you were playing a 4-stringer just a little while ago. Was that a tenor, and how do you have it tuned?
Poorly, thanks. It's a 1930 Martin tenor.
Oh,
Used to belong to one of the guys that played in the Red Clay Ramblers.
ooh.
It's a
Oh,
it's a
I see the
piece
backside.
Wow.
of rosewood that it's well, Brazilian.
Mhm.
It's beautiful.
It's like a miniature D28. It's got the
Yeah.
herringbone and all that.
So pretty.
It's tuned like a mandolin.
Mandolin.
C G D A. Mandolin.
Mandolin.
These three, and an E on the top. So it's tuned in fifths like a mandolin, except the scale length is twice as long, which means that if you try to play it with mandolin brain, you're sunk, because you can't do these cuts. Fingers aren't long enough. You'd have to look like Spider-Man to get that done.
Sounds like it sustains a lot more too.
It does. Mainly chords that are, a lot of these chords work really well on the mandolin, and they're more colorful than this big chop chord thing that most of the bluegrassers play. But if you turn them around and basically just follow you. That sort of is like the notes that you follow. It's a moving bass line, and then you just build the chords on top of it. So all of them are sort of this way instead of that way. That way.
You can be a Delmore brother.
Well, it's what I've got this and another one, and the reason I got it out was because Andy Todd and I actually did a dedication to the Delmore brothers down in Athens, Alabama, at the fiddle contest, and they dedicated the building and the stage to the Delmores, and one of the Delmores' daughters and like grandsons and nephews and all that came out, and we had to do. And sang about 5 or 6 songs.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun, and it gave me an excuse to get that guitar set up, and now it works great. So anyway, you ought to try them. They're not expensive, and they're certainly worth messing around with. You can find a lot of joy in just playing two and 3 finger chords on those, and it'll show you.
Hey, Mike, are those always tuned in fifths?
No, sometimes they're tuned, the top 4 smaller strings on guitar, D, G, B, E, Sometimes you can tune it that way. There's actually no standard way of tuning one. You can tune it however you want to.
So the chords like from a mandolin, right? Because I have a mandola, so I always have to think it's either 5 up or 4 down. Is I mean 4,
Yeah,
right?
well, it's tuned in fifths like mandolins, mandolas, and mandocellos and all that, but you can't reach most of the mandolin, the chop chord
Right.
stuff like you can on mandolins. Those are all built for mandolin playing. The rest of them are, they call them inversions. You invert it so that
Right.
you're not focusing on the top note where the root of the chord would be under this finger, or if you're in that G or that C thing, then you're keying off of that shape. This one you turn it over so that it's more towards the bottom, and then everything is built this way. Because the scale's so long, you can't reach all that stuff, so you have to turn it around and make your chords backwards so that it's building from the bottom instead of up that way. Anyway, it's interesting. A lot of it transfers over to the mandolin. It's just that the things get so close together. You on mandolins you get chords that look like this, and they're really hard to do. But it's worth pursuing. Sometimes you can find these things for a couple $100, which is is no money for an instrument you can have a lot of fun with.
We have a friend here in Colorado, Mark Heiss, makes Boulder mandolins.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been finding old guitars. He has an old Gibson he took and he turned it into an octave.
Yeah.
But it's similar, and he's using that more and more because it gives us a different voice, to some of the things we're playing at. So he can bring that along with us, all of us mandolin players. So that's been kind of fun to watch him figure that out.
Those are the same way. You can get octave mandolins. There's a guy, I know Northfield is putting them out, and Clark makes some. Sierra has got good mileage out of one that she plays, and of course Tim O'Brien's been playing what looks like a bouzouki for years, but he's got it tuned sort of an octave mandolin. Those things are Tim. Tim let me play his one time in a jam session, and he said it was just all you could do because it's got a scale length on it. It feels like playing a Pete Seeger banjo with the neck way out here like this, and it's just difficult as hell to try to get any kind of lead stuff on them because you have to rethink it. But Tim got done, and he said, it's sort of like a G or a D instrument, and everything else is no good. So you can either go like this or you can go like that, and the rest of it's just way difficult. Mainly just gets you down in guitar range and somewhat familiar territory. But y'all didn't come here for a mandolin lesson.
Always interesting though.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun. I recommend it. I'd do it if I were you. Maybe.
I'm glad I asked.
Huh?
I'm glad I asked.
I'm sorry I asked.
No.
Not only would you do it, you have done it.
I have.
Yeah.
Just something else to do that kind of helps define where you are and what things are. It all helps. What are y'all playing? What are you learning to play? Anything? You're working out of a key you hadn't played in a while?
Yeah, I've been having to play an F sharp minor a lot. That's not a real bluegrass standard, but.
Well, it could be.
Yeah, well, it's like, because I have friends that are like, they try to do more Sarah Jaros, Sierra Hall. A lot of the newer ones, it's like that F sharp minor B, B minor, or F sharp minor B, or they use those, and again, it really helped to go to the camp to really understand better the fretboard and realize that this is not as hard to figure out as it seemed initially.
No,
it's like,
just have to not be scared of it. All the positions line up. So why do you think Sierra and Sarah use those keys?
It's a
why do I think? Well, yeah, a lot of their, yeah, it's voice, and it gives it a really well, the songs that they do, they just fit really well with the whole the atmosphere of
Mhm.
that song, of that music, and it gives them that option of then yeah, the voice, right?
It's where their voices ranges are. Monroe sang in B and B flat, and he even sang moved some of it up to C because he could. But he's a freak.
Right.
I've seen like 100 redneck men in jam sessions screaming their heads off and about to explode trying to sing things in B that Monroe could do with ease. It's easy for him. It's not where that, because that's where the key of it is. It's where he sang it the best. The same with those ladies.
That's a good question. I'm curious, what are you guys working on? What tunes, what instruments, or does anybody want to go? I'm working on Dvorak's Eighth Symphony and Copland's Appalachian Spring and a new world premiere, but that's out of this genre. But that's what I'm working
Yeah,
on.
it's the same one I was on, Heidi. Yeah.
Right there.
Patty Enright's least favorite composer.
I haven't seen Rick and Brian and David and Rosemary and Valerie, John, Kath, Tony,
Me and
Steve,
me and Wyatt Ellis rewrote Jekyll Island the other day in C major, and it turned out to be a right nice little tune. I can't get it out of my head now.
Wyatt's 12 and going on 20. Good picker, multi picker. So
Is that an instrumental?
Yes, Jekyll Island. It's a good one. It's an A1. It's got some bits and pieces of like Ebenezer and all those things in it. A major, some slidey bits, and once in a while it helps to ask Wyatt to maybe rewrite something, and he put it in C major and turned it in, and it laid out real well because of A and C being so closely related in some ways. Monroe played a lot of the stuff that he played in his later life, the modal stuff, out of a C, sort of a C-ish position anyway, so it transfers real well. Check it out. That's a good one though. It's a real fun one to play. I played that with Chris Henry. He said I could just sit and play this all day. This has got things in it that just make me just feel right. Jekyll. Is that how you spell Jekyll?
Jekyll.
LL. Okay.
LL.
It's a festival in Georgia.
Yeah. David, I
It's a
haven't
place,
seen you
too,
for a bit. Brian. Oh, sorry. Somebody was saying something.
I just said Jekyll Island's a resort town or something too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
Just trying to stay warm. It's cold here. I think it's wind chill outside right now of about 15 below. So can't really go outside. Trying to recover. I had COVID for a few weeks, so that's no fun. I don't recommend that to anybody, but you can survive it.
Where are you at?
Des Moines, Iowa. Bluegrass jam capital of the world. So Heidi, if you get that list of local jams, I'd love to see it, because
All right.
you got to get in your car to do, you got to drive quite a ways to find a jam around here, unfortunately.
Are you gonna be in Montana next week?
No, I was thinking about going to Spigma actually, but not sure. That's quite a drive too.
I'm gonna be in Montana next week.
What's there?
Well, there's a music consortium, they call it, which basically is a trade show looking for some work, plus might be a gig in Billings and one in Helena and Livingston and another place.
Cool.
So
I think Spigma's next week too, or the week
It
after
is.
maybe.
Yeah, I think it's the 28th.
Yeah,
It's not this weekend, it's next weekend, so you'll see a lot of camp flyers up.
right.
Yeah,
I usually see Mark Royal there at Spigma, but he's usually.
Mark, Lauren Price is playing Thursday, maybe Thursday or Friday. I don't remember the whole schedule.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It was good to see the itinerary for the camp next fall. That was fun to see today. We sent that out, Heidi,
oh, good.
with the teachers and stuff. So that's always fun to see that.
Yeah, and there's a couple of other things that haven't been that'll go out, but on Wednesday, when everybody kind of comes in, there's some historic Monroe films from the Opry digitized, and then there's a big documentary which is not going to be publicly announced, but it's if you were at that'll be Wednesday. And then for people who don't know, I haven't arranged it yet, but the Stanley Museum is about 50 miles northwest of Abingdon. So I just need it. If I have Monday and Tuesday, I can get it all squeezed in for you, but so I'll throw out all those options, but we're going to be at the same site next year as well. So
where's the film come from, Heidi?
I can't publicly
Oh,
announce. That's what we talked about.
okay. Now I remember that conversation.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So
And I saw you had a songwriting track this year, which is awesome.
we did. Tom Utes came in last year as well and did a presentation, and
Good.
we've done that. We did it the year before. Somebody did a bit of songwriting the year before. What year is that?
Kathy Kellick did a little bit, I think.
Oh, no, that was COVID year. Sorry, that was COVID year. That was the online year. COVID year. Yeah. So I know that's it's the Laura Lynn is she in Greensboro,
Yes.
in North Carolina. Really fantastic guitarist, singer, songwriter. And Carl Jones is going to be doing, they're actually splitting a track. Carl's doing old time. If you don't know Carl Jones in Diddyville, and Carl and Erin Marshall, his wife, incredible musicians. Carl's doing old time mandolin. So that'll be a nice thing. I haven't been able to get Caleb back yet, but we will one year. I need more camps, which I'm working on, smaller ones, so to get everybody in. And then Butch Robbins, incredible story, historic, and Doyle Lawson. Doyle lives down in Bristol, and big treat at the museum where we're getting private tours at the museum, birthplace of country music. And then the instructor concert will be broadcast over Radio Bristol, which is really great. And we'll probably have it filmed, but so there's a lot of good stuff happening. The pig roast is opening night on Wednesday night. So we'll have pizza on Saturday night. So I don't want you guys to get confused about when the pig roast is going to be. Eric's coming back. So people who haven't been, Eric Turner is a corporate mucky muck for Wells Fargo, and had a dream of buying a radio station. What are his letters? WKXB or something like that.
I forget. He
Um,
worked in radio when he was a young man and got back into it.
yeah, phenomenal mandolin player, and he's been to camp, but he's also an award-winning barbecue guy. He does whole pig roasts, and it's South Carolina style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
If a pig could be candy, he knows how to do it.
that was some good stuff.
He was the guy that came last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming this year too.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. That was
He
Yeah.
said that he wanted to be involved every year, and I thought, well, I don't see any problem with that.
right.
Can't say no to that.
Bring cornbread.
I think we had a couple vegetarians who even had some of it.
Yeah, Carl
I
Jones.
remember.
Carl Jones is a vegetarian too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had some, couldn't resist.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you up in the, Rosemary, you're up in the snow belt? Have you been whacked as well with snow and storms?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. We were supposed to get a big snow overnight, like Sunday early Monday morning and then into the day. I woke up and I was expecting to see us all blanketed in snow, and it just kind of trickled in over like 24 hours, and we got about 6 or 8 inches. We were supposed to get like 14 to 18 or something, but we have quite a bit now, so that's nice. I'm up in northern New York State.
Canton is where you're. Is that it?
Yeah, Canton. But I've been for a bit. I've been taking online classes with Carl Jones. He and Aaron both do them. Like they run about 6 weeks. So I've been doing that, but I'm taking a break from that. Next couple of months, I'm doing an online class with Matt Flinner, and we started out doing a Norman Blake tune, and then this week we're doing a John Hartford tune. So it's kind of fun, just some variety, and kind of making our way around like kind of modern old timey kind of fiddle tunes. So that's great. So I'm stoked to see that Carl's going to be at Monroe Camp. I love having an old time track.
Yeah.
I think it belongs there. It's one of the main ingredients of the music, and especially with Monroe being such a fan of fiddling.
Yeah.
It seems like it just needs to be there as a reminder and a just keep the name in there, get people to understand how it works and to play off of it. Blues too. I wish
Yeah.
we could get Rich Del Grosso again, but I think it might have been a little too soon the last time he was there. The blues being such a big part of that music.
That would be great.
I think he didn't feel good the last time he was there, but he was a trooper. But it's a cousin of the music where Bill got a lot of his ideas, and I thought it was a good fit, but I think it confused some of the folks. It's like, well, what's he doing here?
I've never met Rich, but I hear he's quite a character.
He's a nice guy.
But I don't think he's been feeling that great.
He's a lot better.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he was having a little bit of problems with his circulation, I think, but he found the right guy and he fixed it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, a lot of good folks that are in these circles we travel in.
Yeah.
Except for this guy down here in the bottom corner with the mustache.
There's some sketchy people in this chat.
We're not talking about you, Scotty. We're talking about the other corner. Oh, you're on mute.
That's probably good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably resemble that too.
I probably should be. I'll just click it off.
So we haven't seen Brian Quinn for a couple of years, and Rick. Also, you guys want to pop in and say anything? And hi, Lynn. I don't know. Are you in?
Yeah. Sure. I've been, I think it was maybe back in 2016, I was with you guys last. It was a pretty long time ago.
I can tell you exactly.
Okay, good.
I'll look at my list.
Yeah, it's always it's always at a tough time of the year for me, even this coming year. It looks so good, and it's going to be, it conflicts with some other thing that's always happening at the same time. But and as a matter of fact, this Wednesday night thing, I usually have the third Wednesday is a jam that we go to, but it got called off. There's a little, I'm an upstate New Yorker also, and COVID's been a little rough around here lately, so they called off the jam. But yeah, so I don't get to see this. I'm not, I think this is the second one of these meetings I've been at. It's a great thing. I really appreciate you guys doing this.
You were 2017 and 2015.
Okay, all right.
I have a master list.
Yes, all right, good,
Yeah.
good.
Cool.
Hey, Brian, am I remembering correctly that you work in emergency?
Yes, you are remembering that correctly. Though that was long enough ago, Mike, that I don't work in emergency anymore. Somewhere about just before COVID started, I transitioned into sort of employee health, kind of low key type of thing, and it worked out for me. I'm sort of I'm kind of happy that I was not really part of the work that those people were doing. I mean, it was tremendous efforts that the emergency staff was doing, and I think even now are still. But I missed out on it, and I didn't get to be a hero. But thankfully, I also felt like I don't know. I'm an old guy, and I was a little worried myself, yeah, it's and the work that I do now, we see COVID people, but it's nobody's terribly sick, and we're not all gowned up like you saw those pictures of the people. So yeah, but good memory. That's correct.
I thought you were emergency room guy.
Yeah. I noticed, Mike, your headpiece there. I'm just wondering, is that the new thing we're going with, or?
Heidi made this.
Yeah.
It's a layer of hair where there is none.
Nice. Okay.
That's because it matters.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it keeps your head warm.
It's about mid-20s right here too. So
yeah.
No, I'm sure she'd make you all one if you want.
Yeah, maybe that should be sort of a gift that we go to them.
Send me measurements.
Round.
Yeah.
About that big, round.
Ah, nice. It looks like it's nice and warm.
It is, and it's lightweight. I don't even, it's nice. You can just put it on there and forget. Sort of like hair would be, I guess, if I had some. Go, Andy, go.
There's a little left up there, but the warmth ain't what it used to be.
Yeah. Being thinner and not having any hair, it makes one prone to be more cold. I was warmer when I was fatter. Oh goodness. Well, what's everybody got plans to do in between now and September?
Practice.
Lynn, did you want to say something?
Yeah. Besides practice, I'm also in Rosemary's class with Matt Flinner. I met Matt Flinner sort of the last day of 2018 or whenever he showed up for my first mandolin camp, but I've been taking lessons since the beginning of pandemic with him. He's kind of got the Zoom thing down. But I wanted to tell Heidi because she loves, you know, the Monroe camp as sort of the seed of other outreach. But Russ and Billy Jordan are coming out to Texas, and they contacted me and told me when they're coming in March. They love Texas. And so we're going to meet them and spend like 6 or 7 or 8 days with them at the last week of March or so.
All right.
So
I love
hopefully they'll
that.
bring their instruments, and we're going to camp at Paladura
Oh, nice.
and also Copper Breaks. Not that very far from here, but we're, you know, it sparked a lot of conversations. He's also helped me with thinking about, you know, buying a new, the choosing of the instrument I did buy. And yeah, he's been a great person to keep in contact with.
Yeah.
So yeah, we really enjoy them as a couple. So this is the first time socializing with them, but I think of Monroe Camp as being the seed of that. So I thank you for that relationship
awesome.
that came through you. Yeah.
I love that. There are so many people that visit each other. Either there are some international people, and within the United States, that the beauty about this is that there are no egos at the door, that they're left at the door. And it's just all about this community of playing, literally playing and learning and laughing, and I don't know, just soaking it up. And I think there's a beauty of that community within this group that is fostered, and it is purposefully, that's a purpose to have that space or that safety or that freedom to be able to do that. So I love hearing about the outside connections and people visiting, and
yeah,
you know,
we'll take some photos and videos so you can put it in your next grant report or something.
Well, I'd you know, everybody's welcome to share it on the I hate that Facebook keeps changing things, but part of the alumni group, I think people have to request to be part of whatever the new group is. I can't just add people. I don't know, they've changed it again, but everybody's free to, there's an alumni page. There's a 2022 page that was started, but Tony, now that we've met, we have to be Facebook friends to add you to that, because I can't just add you now. But anyway. But I love those connections, and those are really important. So yes, please do post photos, and I think that's great.
Yep. Thank you.
I knew if I got stranded in Denver when I was flying to Santa Barbara, I was going to call Skip. I was going to call Bodie, who's out there, and I'm like, all right, who do I know? Come get me now. So yeah. Besides, I love skiing in Colorado, but I need to let my knee heal a bit. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Yay. Russ and Billy are such wonderful, big heart people.
Yeah, they are. So we're looking forward to getting to know them better and camping in a beautiful spot. So hopefully they're bringing 2 other friends too, and I need to. I said, I hope I'm not muscling in on your friendships, but I suspect they're musicians too. so we'll be filling the campgrounds with the music. And I think,
yay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm trying to place them. I know those names. I can't.
Russ plays the mandolin, and he was a radio announcer, and then Billy is his wife that plays bass. Mostly.
And she builds guitars, she builds instruments. Remember, she got up on Station Inn and played Todd Phillips' bass for her birthday. Yeah, was that 3 years ago during the concert?
I remember when you said she played bass, who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, they're involved in Merle Fest.
Yep. Yeah, they're big time Merle Fest attendees.
They live around Asheville, I think, in North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's a
Asheville?
little further. I can't remember.
I
Well,
think it's about 70 miles from Asheville. I
Yeah.
think you said. So,
That's about 2.5 hours from here.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, who's the luthier? The
Tryon,
huh?
Tryon, North Carolina, they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the luthier? Is that what you asked?
Yeah, Russ plays one of his mandolins. Henderson,
Wayne Henderson.
Wayne Henderson. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's who Billy's been, I think, working with in the shop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful instrument she brought. I think it was 2019 was the last time they came, because Merle Fest also changed their dates. But she brought a beautiful guitar that she had made. Sounded beautiful too. Yeah. And speaking of luthierisms and hooligans, John Boyd.
Yes, I thought I was muted. I was making comments the whole time, but I was muted, and
You were.
Yeah, but that was probably your doing.
Not this time. So John's been through some excitement lately with rebuilding, and
we're going to come back. Yeah, we're going to have as soon as it gets warm and safe enough to gather again. We're going to have jams in the backyard, and y'all didn't know my shop burnt down, so I've got to rebuild the shop. I'm ready to rebuild as soon as I can get plans together and carpenters to walk on site. So it's coming back. We do concerts. We do concerts in the backyard. A lot of great people have played. Mike and Joe's come and played, and so that's all going to happen, whether there's a building or not. We're going to make it happen, and there will be a building by summertime.
Yeah.
Where are you at, John?
Kansas City. Yeah.
That's
So yeah,
looking nice and clean.
Yeah, it is nice and clean. Yeah. And my basement is good, so yeah. And
I'm glad you salvaged that big butt cut of that maple. That was nice to find.
It was. I actually, it was all warped, and I had it wetted down on carpets that were wet. Excuse me, on the floor of my workshop, covered up with other boards and weights and everything, trying to flatten it out. That's why it survived. There's a couple pieces of tone wood that might have survived. I don't know, like some maple, but nothing else. So start over. I've got great support, great friends here. So we'll get it figured out. And all my instruments were in the house, so there's no instruments in the shop.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. So yeah, been working. I learned. I don't have it up to speed. I don't have it up to the bluegrass album speed, but trying to work on the Trinity. The last piece I didn't know was the Boston Boy. So, Jenny Lind and Boston Boy and Soldier's Joy. So yeah, I just figured that should be a requirement. And learning that off of Grissman's tablature, Grissman's thing that he put out in his book. And
make sure you get that lick in. You got to use your pinky to get it.
Yeah,
it's in there twice. Da 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 da, and up on the A string too, I believe.
Okay.
Don't cheat.
No. I won't cheat. I might be able not be able to play it real fast, but I'm not going to cheat.
We don't care about fast.
I don't care about fast anymore. So yeah, and still trying to learn Tanyards. I can play Tanyards, but not like you and Lauren, but I don't care.
last time I played it with Lauren, she wore me to a nub.
I bet. Yeah.
I told her
Well,
I'd play harmony with her, and she took off with it at Spigma with a bunch of people standing around. And I thought, oh Lord! And
yeah,
there we go. And I thought, there's all these people around. I can't just be disgraced. So I hung on for dear life.
yeah. I saw the look on your face on that video. I was like, you know,
Yeah.
kind of like, here you
Yeah,
go.
that's what it felt
Here you
like.
go, young lady. But yeah, that kind of stuff. Not so much in jams. There's not a lot going on that I want to participate in right now. So I just don't feel like getting up and hollering and singing with a bunch of folks at the moment. So anyway, I don't have to. So it's all right.
Well, I'm glad it's all coming back around for you. As good as you've been to all of us, if you've been as nice to everybody that lives out around you, it's no wonder people are wanting to help you, because it's, you know, you've got gobs of good karma.
It blew me away. I really do. Support from 3 continents and 1 island, the island of Japan. So people, yeah, there's a luthier that's got a shop in Tokyo that they were all standing around at the jam at the Station Inn, and they'd come to play Bream Blossom, and and only like 2 of them spoke English, and it was like, get your shit out and play, you know. And he was like, oh, okay. So they all jumped in, and that was the night. Campers were there, so there were people from, you know, Jorgen was there. I mean, everybody was there from all around the world. So I made friends with him, and great
Is it
thing about all
Toshio?
that, huh?
Toshio and Yoshi?
This is a.
I'm just trying to think. I think they were there.
Toshio Watanabe,
No, and I think when Yoshi was here.
the guy that runs BOM.
No,
No.
not Toshio. Sorry, John.
No, it's not them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not him. But anyway, they, you know, it's like Facebook is great because you can translate, you can communicate. You hit the translation button, and you know it's wrong, but you know you get the gist of it.
But you can find out what Shin's having for lunch.
You can. Yes.
And if you don't know him, Shin Akamoto is an incredible mandolin player. He wears bibs, and he he's left-handed, didn't have a left-handed mandolin, so he took the mandolin, turned it upside down, and learned how to play it. So he could play it. So he can play he's ambidextrous with the mandolin, whichever way you give it to him. And he's a phenomenal player too. And watching him and Mike play together is amazing as well. But
he's got a weird thing. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all have ever seen this happen. Maybe happen to you too. He's got a thing about whatever the chemical in his hands is. Whenever he's playing, I've noticed one day I was watching him, and I noticed every time whenever he raised his thumb up, the pick was stuck to his thumb, and all the way through he'd play, and every time he'd raise his finger up, the pick is still stuck on his thumb. And I asked him, I said, what do you put on your thumb to make that do that? And he says, nothing. And I said, well, what caused it? He says, I don't know. It just does. Is it, I don't think it's sweat. It's something to do with whatever's coming out of his pores that makes that thing stick to his finger. Have y'all ever run into anybody else that does that too?
No, I'd say it's back to whatever he has for lunch.
Maybe it's fish sauce. That's funny. He's a big fan of gyoza. I know that. And so am I. Oh, goodness.
This guy, yeah, Toshiki Iwamoto. and it's Acoustic World or something like that in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tashiki, and yeah, there was a guy at a festival here that had one of his mandolins, and I was like, oh, I know him. He does like multicolored, candy-colored mandolins.
Oh my!
Yeah. Not all of them are that way, but some of them are. Yeah.
Well, Rick, Kathy, Valerie, Scotty, you guys want to say anything? What you're up to? Valerie, how are the jams going? Is that going okay out there?
Are they letting you in the jam, Valerie?
Valerie's in Arizona.
No, they still won't let me in.
Why?
Cause I don't play well enough.
Well, I'm coming out to box somebody's ears.
Boo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But are you having fun playing?
There's a couple that I've been playing with. I've been getting, so it's been really nice to try singing and, you know, and playing with just a couple people. It's been really nice. They're very patient.
I will say, just from Valerie came the first time in 2017, and you knew like 5 chords or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was at Scarrett Bennett, and you have come such an incredible far way from that first of just that everybody in the community was just great, where we also had extra classes and things, and all right, you're not teaching anybody, so here, come sit down. But
that was just so nice of everybody. Yeah.
Where you do lead and you can play. So I want you to know that whoever those group heads are, like I've just remembered I'm recording. Okay. But anyways.
I just joined the Arizona Bluegrass Association, and I hear they have a jam a couple times a month on Sundays, and I'm gonna give them a try and see how that goes.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll see.
All right.
If y'all don't know Valerie, she's one of the more fearless ones that I've showed a few things to. She doesn't mind running all up and down the fingerboard and learning things that you might think. I think, well, I don't know if you're ready for this one, but she said she didn't say. She says, I want to learn so and so. She doesn't say, show me something easy or I want just like give me something that's in A. She says, well, I want to learn 10 yards. It's like, okay. And she does it.
Slow.
Well, like I say, we're not interested in how fast we get it done. We're just interested in getting it done. Kathy Nichols ain't saying anything, but I know that she has just had some breakthroughs with learning how to connect the dots and play up the fingerboard. So that's been good to see too. And every once in a while, when Kathy hits something that she didn't know she knows, she kind of goes, "Wow, did I just do that?"
Nice.
It's always good to see. Steve, you're being completely quiet.
All right, I'll say something. I've been working on my hands all day. I got the joint issues going on, and I'm telling myself it's not because I've been playing so much. I've got this condition that doesn't let up, and it's kind of miserable, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But I went back to my good old F9. I've been playing that. It's a little smaller. It's a little easier to handle. And jamming around here is negligible. Nobody's going out and doing anything. So the only people I play with other than myself are in recordings, which I have multiple ones. The two people that are in my trio, we get together once a week and practice for 2 hours. That's it. And it's not doing it for me.
It's hard.
Kathy's
It
up
is.
in Kalamazoo, if you, Michigan.
It's a hotbed here. The hospitals are still full, and I just had my oldest daughter just got COVID, but she's coming out of it okay. But it's getting me down.
No, it's hard to do it once you've got the bug and you've played with other people. It's really hard to go back to just playing by yourself and
Yep.
or for yourself. Anyway, that's if you can play music. I mean, that can be as good a friend as you ever would want, because it's always there.
It's pretty much all I got right now. It's
Let it do it for you. Don't shy
it's
away
doing
from
it. I'm working on it. I got 2 or 3 tunes that I play every day, and then I got multiple. I played through Gallop to Georgia tunes today.
Cool.
Just put them on and played them. You just gotta keep moving, because I got my calluses all built up. I'm not gonna let go of those.
What can we do for you?
What's that?
What can we do for you?
Make COVID go away and make things open up.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
I have something, Kathy, I'm gonna get that you gave me.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh, it's time for a dose of your own medicine.
Oh, what are you doing to me?
Uh-oh.
I have a therapeutic thing I just found, and it's I got a massage, and this guy had the hot stones. They're basalt stones, and my daughter's a massage therapist. She gave me 2, and you can get them hot and put them in your palm and knead them around. You can put them between your fingers and stretch out. And it's because my hands have been abused the last few weeks for some reason, and
I wonder why.
yeah, but it's really like a magical thing. It's a lot better than like a tennis ball or something like that, because they're hot and they're warm, and they'll loosen your hand up a lot if you could find them. And any place that sells massage or therapeutic stuff like that, you can find them and get one that's 2-3 inches long, probably 3 inches long. They're oblong. Anyway, I like it. It's like wow, this is magic. But they hold.
I need a
How do you heat 'em?
I need a psyche massager.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Kath,
Thanks. Yeah.
your wish is my command. I've waved the wand. COVID, go away.
Thank you.
Wow.
I can't remember what you brought this for, but
Now saying I did it my way.
no, that's you, Mike. I have video of him doing this. And now,
Oh.
You
yeah.
expected me to do something.
Oh, goodness. Well, I know Rick. Where's Rick? Hold on. Rick came to the online, our online virtual extravaganza when we, stupid COVID, we had to cancel in person in 2020. So, yeah.
Yes, I did.
There he is. Bye, Rosemary.
My story is I was in the hospital just before COVID hit, and they cured me of what I was in the hospital with. But when I got out, I had COVID, and no one knew what that was at the time. So I had plenty of time on my hands, and I've been a music teacher for 50 years. And what am I gonna do? I can't go out. I don't feel unbelievably horrible. So I heard about your camp. And every now and then I'll go to different camps and see how the other people teach and how they do their things, because I do some of that myself. But so I got hooked on Bill Monroe's songs, and I transcribed one of them. I'm like, I really like the way he throws the blues into his songs. And then I started transcribing, and I got up to I transcribed 70 of his songs in tablet edit. I don't know if you've ever heard of tablet edit, but it has the background. I play the banjo, the bass, the fiddle, I play it all. But so each part I put in behind the mandolin part. And so in this tablet edit, you can slow it down to any speed you want to and loop. I just want to learn this part here. And once you get it in there, it's a fabulous thing to have around. It was fun. I really got hooked on doing that.
Maybe you ought to do an afternoon workshop on how to make that work.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah, I've been tablet editing for 30 years. It's a wonderful program. And you can print out, you could print out the bass part on a PDF or the mandolin part. I've actually made a bound book of all the transcribed songs I did on the mandolin. But you can do anything with it.
Man, well, that sounds good. There's some of us appreciate having the dots and the notation and the tab to look at. At least it makes it faster to learn, and you can kind of see where it goes like this.
Yeah. And I like it too, because if you don't want to play what Bill played, you still got the background. You've got his group playing, and you can improvise on top. As long as you know how to improvise, you can make up your own thing.
Be interesting. Maybe think about getting. Do we have Heidi? Do we have electorials?
Special presentations are kind of electorials. We can talk about it, but I run out of time for scheduling.
Yeah.
So the only other thing is Wednesday is now having, it's Wednesday's kind of electives, but it's also really important. So what started off was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Wednesday was added as the pre-party, and then Tuesday, when we were in town, we had the Station Inn party, but we had a concert at the Station Inn, but because they're about 4.5 hours apart, we're now doing the Station Inn concert on the Sunday. So people can then hang out in town. So I don't know, maybe it'll end up being a week camp at some point, but I need more time and I need more events. So that's kind of what I'm starting out to do.
A real big time consumer for you, I don't think. A lot of places, they seem to have electives in the afternoons, and they just tell the instructors to come up with maybe, they do it for a couple of days and just say, we'll come up with 2 electives that you might want to teach for 30-40 minutes in the afternoon. And that would it's just a time that's left open for that, and they just go do it. So I don't guess it's necessarily even that they know ahead of time what they're going to do. They're just required to, come up with it, write it down, have a blackboard and just write in what it is, and then they go do it. You just says electives, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah, so Thursday and Friday, when we've always had pretty big special presentations that, while there's either supposed to be 1.5 hours or 2 hours, sometimes, when we've had 5 or 6 of the Bluegrass Boys, it ends up being 3.5 hours, or, so it's yeah, we can talk about it more, on different things too, but that's part of the exit surveys that you guys fill out. I go through, I tabulate everything, so that I have lists of what's requested every year, and then I have 15 slots to fill it in, and so I have enough material for the next 40 years, I think, right now. But yeah, but yeah, it's all kind of designed about from a teacher standpoint. It's designed about what you guys want. Bye, Skip. See you next time. So yeah. Who else? Scotty hasn't said much.
Oh, of course, I don't know if y'all, Richard and Calvert and Bambi Fox, I usually jam with them quite often. And right now they've both been down with COVID. I think Richard's starting to get over it, and
Yeah.
they'll probably get out of quarantine here in the next few days and she's starting to be on the mend.
Wow.
But
Are you close to Paducah? I know
Yeah,
Richard from Paducah.
Yeah, I'm 30 minutes from Paducah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about 25, 30 minutes. So we get together and jam quite often. And oh, but he had gone up to Chicago to see his son, and he got sick along the way, and they come back, wound up with it.
Is Jake has COVID too? Jake's his son. Jake came to camp last year.
Jake came to camp last year. Jake's okay.
Yep.
He's still in Chicago working.
Yeah. Cool.
Right now I'm catching a few things up. I've got a surgery trying to get scheduled, and so I'm catching a few things up before that, and gonna take some time off and heal up. But other than that, life's been good.
Good.
Are you close to the quilt museum up there?
I am.
Cool. I always wanted to go to that thing. Every time we ride down the freeway and see that sign, I thought, damn, I wish I had time to stop and go in there. But I'm going to do it one of these days.
Well, let's see. We were at the station inn last Sunday. I had a doctor's appointment there at Vanderbilt a couple weeks ago. So we went to the station inn and I sat in on the jam session, and I've got another appointment Monday. And so I think we're going to go back, and I ain't made up my mind if I'm going to sit in or not, but I had a wonderful time. The speed of things was faster than what I'm normally doing, but it was fun. I sure had a blast. But that's
good jams
I've been to this year. I
they
usually pick one of Richard or Bambi's, or we're doing something here at the house with 4 or 5 others. So
yeah, there used to be, just like you were talking about earlier about it in Colorado being a lot of jams around. It used to be the same thing in Nashville, but they started to peter out. Just seems like the year that I moved there, it just all started dropping off, and then there was hardly any jams to be seen.
Yeah.
There was one that would go on pretty much all weekend. John and Lynn Hedgecoth had at their house. But I mean, it's kind of like free roaming jam. People just came and went all weekend long, and but that was about the only one for a long time. It seems like there's a few more now, but they're not that many.
Let's see. Jackson Purchase Bluegrass has a jam first of the month before their first Friday of the month before their show. They've been trying to start that back up. They used to have it all the time and got away from it. Now they're trying to start that back up. I think Josh Williams has stepped back in as an officer for that.
Oh, cool.
Kept up with it. Of course, Owensboro, that's about 150 miles away, but they have a jam up there.
Yeah.
Will they have it at the museum?
Yes.
Yeah, Chris does that.
Seems like that Mark Royal and what's his name?
Mark Hargis.
Mark and Mark used to be involved in a jam there around Rosine, but I don't know
Yeah, I think they still do it.
Mark Royal, I think, was doing more singer-songwriter stuff, playing guitar mainly instead of mandolin. So I don't know.
We went down when I had the doctor's appointment. We went down and heard Bella Fleck and all of them at the Ryman the other night and had a big time listening.
Yeah.
It was a big show.
It was. It was. It was a good show.
I heard it was impeccably played.
It was.
There's a lot of hours of practice in that bunch.
Yes.
Like a lifetime of practice.
All that and keep it all under everybody's head and keep it organized. It took a I was going to ask the question, Heidi. My wife would like to come with me next time. Would it be possible for that?
Yeah, yes, we have a lot of partners and wives who want to come, not do the classes, but come for other stuff. So I'm kind of putting that all together. So yes, yeah, we'll get it figured out. The only restriction that I have on this entire camp is at the museum, the concert theater that the performance theater that is right outside of Radio Bristol, and you'll see it in the museum, has 100 seats in it.
Okay.
With the fire marshal, I have maybe 100. I'm not going to say because technically it's 100. So that's my one concern of figuring out seats within the theater for the instructor concert. So that'll, I'll be, I don't know, maybe I'll do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, but yes, so participants obviously go first and then, we'll talk about it, but I'll deal with that situation as it comes in 8 months, 7.5 months. But yeah, that's my only thing. So, and we're having pretty good registration so far this first week and a half. It's pretty good. So we'll see. But and the Pacific Coasters just woke up, I guess. Jeff and Miss Nancy. You're muted. Where are you? I can't hear you. Nope, still muted. Ask to unmute. There you go. Can you speak? I mean, I can't hear you.
You're unmuted. But
that's muted. Now you're unmuted. Can't hear you though.
You look good.
I'm trying to read lips. Type it. We can't hear you at all, whatever reason. That's weird. Technology.
You said you had only one restriction. I think maybe there's two. The other one is that you can't come up and dump your underage kids out and drive off without them.
Probably not.
Like last time.
All right, good thing now. Oh, we're uploading everything, so guess this is it for tonight. All right.
What's the story on Rare and Fine? I saw a tease. Is that coming?
It's in the tube. It will be released officially March 4th. There will be a station in a
premiere,
a party on the 6th to station in on the night when they usually have the jam. I don't know. I haven't talked to the guy yet, but Heidi was nice enough and quick enough and efficient, and got the guy's attention, and so he saved us a couple of nights. So it'll be on Sunday. It was the only time I could get all of the people on the record in one spot, because the rest of the year they're all, you know, they're all in bands, they're all working with all these different people, and it's just like, okay, it's now or never.
I think
So,
Bub's flying in from Wintergrass. He gets back in on the Sunday.
well, no, it's the weekend before. Wintergrass is before. It's the reason that it was pushed to the next weekend, and Michael Cleveland was too. So that's why it's been moved to March.
So when is it?
March the 6th.
March the 6th. Yeah.
Wow. We might have to drive down.
That'll
That's
Well,
what I'm thinking too.
not if Miss Nancy's knee is, well, she might be ready in 6 weeks after that.
Yeah,
We'll
you
just
were
throw her in
ready
the back of the bus.
You were ready in about 3 days.
Yeah, but that's a drive. That's a long drive.
John's going to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
She
Yeah.
can just lay up there and eat grapes.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture of how she rolls in the bus. It's like Cleopatra. I have to peel grapes for her and pass them back.
I figured.
John's got a bus we call the double stop, because he's got 2 stop signs, double stop. I don't know if you call it that, but
Of course. Yes.
Yeah.
that was what, 2015 camp, the double stop bus. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first time we had it.
Yep. So
So that project has been recorded for 2 years, and I've had problems getting first use mechanical licenses on them because Monroe never copyrighted any of them, and he didn't record them. The only one that he actually did copyright was Real Foot Reel, and he recorded it on an album that never got released. So basically, these are all, most of the tunes, nobody except people who are just complete fanatics even know about them. And I think there's probably enough material left over to do one more, and that's it. But these are some, to me, they're some of Monroe's best and most intricate melodies. And some of them have 4 parts, which is, you know, that's kind of a feat for a bluegrass instrumental. But a lot of good players, a lot of good playing, and a lot of different textures on things. I have a friend of ours that's a lawyer that's also a mandolin player, that sent them a letter saying, okay, nobody's willing to claim these. We'd like to have a piece of paper that says, if you finally figure out that you actually own these, that you won't sue me
Yeah.
for putting this out. And because there is paperwork based on what a lawyer that James Monroe used to deal with, that said that he brokered the deal, and there's paperwork that says that he goes and then he does it down regular place, and then he jumps up a full octave up to the neck and plays it on the top 2 strings.
Oh,
The same kind of thing.
yeah, I'd love to learn a more complicated version of that.
Well, I've got it. I've got the audio recording, and I've got the other part written down. So if y'all want it, send me an email.
Oh, good.
Pretty awesome. Did Bill play the third part, the G part?
No. It reminded me though. That's just like, no. It's a modulation to G. It's the same
Very
chord
scale.
progression as
Yeah.
Boston Boy. Sort
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, 1 4 5 1.
I told my jam group, no, we're not going to do that part.
I never heard it until I started hanging around with old timey players.
Yeah, some of the more zippity doo dah session players around town playing. Let me see if I can find that. I can't think of the name of that. It's a minstrel banjo book. Now that I've said something about it, I feel like I should tell you what it is.
Kathy, didn't we do that with Rich, like at our 2 a.m. session years ago? I was up in outside of Boston, Mando Camp.
Mandolin Camp North.
Yeah, where Rich Del Grosso was teaching, and Kathy and I and Susan. Yeah, we just sat. I mean, it was like 2 a.m. or something, and we were just out of control. I thought
that was are you talking about after he taught the class? And it was
yeah, but then we stayed and we went back for the evening jam with him. But I thought we had done.
It was some kind of song she sang, some kind of raunchy song. Ellen was it?
Ellen, right? Sorry. Okay.
She sang some song about it was.
Sorry, I thought it was Ragtime Annie. So sorry. That's why.
No, it was some song that got written down somewhere because I learned it at one point because it's got some really naughty lyrics.
A lot of fun that evening.
Y'all were howling because we could hear y'all laughing through the doors and the walls from in the other room where we were.
Oh, what was that song?
Jam.
Oh my gosh, that was
I have it on video too.
I have it on video. I'll look it up. I'll send it to you.
I got Big Sandy, Scotty. I put that down on the list too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
I love that one too. Is
I'm sorry, y'all. I can't find this book.
Is Patty on the Turnpike? Did he ever record that one?
He did.
He did. I love that one too. For some of the same reasons I like Big Sandy. So it's just.
I think we've done
Patty. Just all over the place.
Well, I know Valerie plays that one, and so does Nancy.
All right.
Well, I have just lost it. Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, Jeff and Nancy, could you keep it down, please? It's just way too loud. You're just interrupting my thoughts.
There's a verse about the policeman on the corner. Somebody's standing on a corner. Very sketchy stuff.
Careful.
I know. I'll look it up. It's a good song. I had it almost all memorized at one point, but I didn't have anywhere to play it or anybody to play it with.
Well, I guess not.
I will look it up though, because it was fun. The reason I learned it was to play it. If we want to get into it now. It was in response to having someone who shall remain nameless at one of the camps play some suggestive songs, sing some suggestive songs to me or at me or.
Oh,
I know who it is.
Oh, I know. Oh, wait, I know who that is.
And so I made it a point to learn.
That's right.
Songs like that, and then it never happened. He never came back.
Oh, the.
No, you did play it because you were blushing while you played it for him.
I don't blush.
Yeah, you were blushing while you played it for him because he thought that you were gonna out raunchy him, but anyway, well, we digress.
You need to do it with a straight face.
We digress.
Oh
yeah.
All right, I found this. This is a book that was put out by Oliver Ditson, and it's called Briggs, Briggs, Banjo Instructor. It's like mid 1850s, I believe. Let me see. 1855. Now it's a minstrel banjo, so it was written. All the tunes, the titles are a lot of them written in the un-PC language of the time. So if you go and look around, don't be surprised. But this is where the tune came from that James and Carl did, kicking up the devil on a holiday. That's right out of that book, and I read through it. It's what they played. So it's an interesting resource, and there's some really nice tunes in it.
Who'd you say put it out?
Briggs Banjo Instructor. It's if you type that in the search engine and just follow it, it goes online. You can download a PDF copy of the book. There's 70 pages in it, and it's got fundamentals of music, and then it's got just tune after tune after tune. It's an interesting resource to be able to find the music like this, and it's one of the main reasons I think for actually knowing how to read, because this could be yours if you want it. I mean, I understand the reason for learning by ear, but you kind of miss some stuff if you don't know how to read it.
Yeah.
Can you put that, just copy that link and put that in here in the chat, Mike?
Yeah, let me, like I say, I'm just, it's not politically correct in today's tolerance levels.
Yeah.
So just be informed. But it is good music. Let's see, Briggs Banjo Instructor PDF.
It looks like you can actually buy a printed copy on Amazon too.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Okay. Is it soft cover or hard? Briggs Banjo Instructor, 1855 paperback.
Yeah, paperback.
Amazon.
Mhm.
Well, there it is. Huh. Unabridged, September 1992. Out of print. Okay. Early minstrel banjo, technique and repertoire. There you go.
Oh, we do that.
But the archive looks like it's English, archive.org. Let me see if this is the one. Yeah. Where do you want me to put the
Just in the chat.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Let me see if I can get back to the screen. See chat. Here you go. Good idea. Type.
I put that in and Banjo Kazooie instruction booklet came up.
Well, there it is at the bottom.
Okay.
I see.
That's the page where I got it. I just downloaded a PDF copy of it. I would like to have the book though.
There you go.
What song do you need to do a solo on? You mean out of that book?
No, we just have a ongoing thing with Jeff and Nancy. Your choice, whatever raunchy song you want.
Oh, is it the raunchy song? Okay.
Yeah.
Nancy used to do one about being an old lady. I can't remember what it is. I want to be an old lady. What was it? Was that what it was? Let me look. Because I've still got the chord chart.
Here's the papa.
That'd be mine.
Oh, it don't say what it is. Old lady. Yeah, that's what it said.
Come here.
How about let my peaches be?
That's half of a floating verse.
Exactly.
There's a big dog.
Don't check.
There's a good dog. Sorry. I have to say that to all dogs.
He thinks he's a Westie and he's dainty and he's not. Every time you see his phone jerk, that's because he's jumping up here doing some kind of twirl.
Cool. Oh, Kathy Nichols has a question. She raised her hand. Oh, you didn't? Your hand's raised. Lower hand. I've lowered your hand. Well, have we solved the world's problems?
No.
Now we've taken to jumping on the internet.
Yes.
So I think we've probably.
And now the end is near. Cool.
Well, it's good to see y'all. I'm sorry if I talked too much.
You're muted.
This was great. Thank you, Heidi and Mike.
Yes.
And next, I will be getting out the February Gazette in exactly 11 days. So
If we had
the
jumped on
next,
this earlier, we could have played 8th of January, but we missed it.
yeah, the next meeting will be on the 16th, which is a Wednesday, but apparently every night of the week there's conflicts for everybody. So we tried it on Mondays, we tried it on Saturdays. I don't know. We'll just keep it at Wednesdays until people say no more. So stay healthy, stay safe, keep practicing. We'll do Boston Boy next week.
Next time. Yeah.
Next time. Yeah.
Thanks. See you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody.
If you need anything, I'm easy to find.
Yeah. Take care.
You
Yeah.
too. Well,
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
night.
Bye.